Our live streaming has started.
All right. I will start anyway. I'm calling the meeting to order. The Sioux OPP Detachment Board meeting for Wednesday, September 24th, 2 p.m. And I'm Darlene Ajkanab, their chair for the Sioux Detachment Board. Okay, so I'm asked to announce a few things before we start the meeting. I advise everybody in attendance that A, the meeting is being live streamed and video recorded. B, the opinions of individuals representing a delegation or presentation are their own and not the board is not responsible for the board is not responsible for the delegates presenters comments or any materials delegates choose to provide. C, the link to the live stream posted on the agenda so that the public can view the live recordings, which is also the link to the video recording. So I've been asked to say those things before at each meeting. And for B, attendance motions to excuse if there are any. I believe we are still waiting for Brian McKinnon and the mayor for Sioux. So
we're through you, Madam Chair. We're here. This is Brian. Yeah, I'm here, and Mayor Lawrence is on the call as well.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm on board, Chair. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. And number C, introduction of Inspector Jeffrey Dugan, Acting Detachment Commander for Sioux OPP Detachment. So welcome to the meeting, Inspector Dugan.
Thank you very much.
Dugan, I'm not sure.
It's both most days.
Okay. Good. Okay. So we'll move on to number 2 now, the land acknowledgement. Since the mayor is here, we shall ask him to say it for us.
Thanks, Chair. As we start our meeting, we acknowledge that we are in the traditional territory of the Lac Sioux First Nation within the area of Treaty 3. At Pickle Lake, you'll have to help me. I believe you're in the area of Treaty 3 as well. Yes. But many of the that was confirmed, I think. Thanks. Yep. And many of the people we serve come from the areas of Treaties 5 and 9, the Anishinaabe Nation. Communities we serve both here and in Pickle Lake. And we keep that in mind as we do these deliberations of the Police Detachment Board. Thanks, Chair.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Okay, now number 3, the approval of the agenda. So everybody has received everything in their email. 3A, introduction of amendments to the agenda.
To you, Madam Chair. I don't have any amendments. Others may.
All right. Anyone else? No? Okay. So there are none. So we shall move on to 3B, motion to approve the agenda as presented, amended. So I need a mover, seconder.
I'll move.
I can move.
Okay, I can't see you. Okay, that's Bob. We'll move. And seconder.
I'll
That was
second.
John.
Pardon? Yeah. Okay, John. Okay, thank you. Okay, number 4, item number 4 on the agenda, declarations of pecuniary. Oh, yeah. Okay, I was supposed to say everybody in agreement. Show your hands.
Yes.
Yes, all in agreement. Okay, thanks. Number 4, declarations of pecuniary interest.
Through you, Madam Chair, I haven't received any.
Okay. So there are none. Number 5, the adoption of the minutes from August 8th, 2024. 5A, errors or omissions to those minutes. I don't see everybody for some reason. There are none, I believe. And so we'll move on to 5B, which is the motion to approve the minutes as presented or amended. So shall we approve the minutes? Then I shall need a mover and a seconder. Who would like to
I can move.
Okay. John will move. And seconder,
I'll second.
Bob. Okay, Bob will second. Okay, thank you. And everybody in agreement, show of hands. Yep, okay. All agree. Okay, so it's the motion to for the minutes have been approved. Okay, number 6 now. We have under delegations and presentations, it says there are none. Okay, so we'll move on then to number 7. The item for discussion includes the reports. So 7A, OPP report statistics for the first and second quarters 2024 for Pickle Lake and Sioux. The report will be given by Inspector Jeffrey Duggan, Acting Detachment Commander. So you may begin the reports.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
I just wanted to start off by saying thank you for having me. Just a little bit about myself. I am taking over the Sioux Detachment until December 1st. Carl Duell has stepped away to work at the region for a little while. I have been a detachment commander since 2018. I'm born and raised in Kenora, and that's where I'm a detachment commander. I have had the fortune of working in Sioux and Pickle Lake quite extensively in my past career in crime. Traveled the entire region working on major crime, homicides, and things like that. So I have been to both communities extensively. And as early as last week, we were in Pickle Lake for a couple things. So I'm glad to be here. It's a really nice change for me. Working in a place with officers that have less than 5 years on the job, as opposed to 25 plus. It's a bit of a breath of fresh air for me as well. So appreciate being here. I do have the statistical reports for the first and second quarter. I'm not sure how much Carl gets into these. Reporting by quarter, I'm not really used to reporting by quarter. We report monthly in Kenora. So I'll just go through these briefly so as not to take up anybody's time, too much of their time. But if anybody has questions on the reports or anything contained in them, by all means, I've gone over them, gone over some of the occurrences related, and I'll speak to those. I'll start with the Sioux Detachment Cluster first quarter report on page 1, just noting the number of patrol hours and noting the work that the officers are putting in. So 839.5 patrol hours and 483 hours of foot patrol, which is really quite good from my view, given that Sioux is a small community and the amount of foot patrol hours. That is really nice to see. I know in my meeting with Brian and Mayor Lawrence last week, we talked about some targeted foot patrols. So we're going to get together as an NCO or as a sergeant group here and talk about a lot of those things and how we can improve that and just make sure that those foot patrols that we're doing are certainly meaningful and where we need to be. When you turn the page over to the violent crime report, you notice some crimes are down, some are up. I'll talk about the theft overs just for a quick minute. You see it went from 1 to 5. So theft of motor vehicle, 2 cleared by charge, 1 declined to proceed any further. and one with insufficient evidence to proceed. That's a 400% increase over the same time period last year. So just wanted to give an update on that. Frauds are up and down as the cyber crime continues. 3 of those are cyber crime related, and the rest are really related to minor frauds, Facebook Marketplace, stolen ID, and those sorts of things. Break and enters, you'll notice those are up from 4 to 12. 3 cleared by charge, 3 victim declined, 1 insufficient evidence to proceed, and the other ones are cleared in various other states. So when we look at those, there is increases and decreases in crime. When we look at our drug crime, we look at significant increases in actual drug possession and trafficking. That is in part to do with an increase in the community street crime unit. They went from 1 member to 2. So as we see drug crimes and the infiltration of gangs from really all across Ontario and all points west, and the violent crime that supersedes those people moving in, we have to adjust the amount of people we have working on those cases. Those are complex cases that our officers work on. And I'll speak of 1 arrest made last night. I know it's not the first or second quarter, but a significant arrest made last night in Sioux, and we'll put a media release out on that later today so that the community is aware that has happened. When we look at your clearance rates, pretty standard clearance rates from across the province, a little higher than normal rates. Of course, being a smaller community, everybody tends to know everybody, and what that speaks to is that we don't have a lot of unknown offenders committing crimes. So those numbers do go up as time goes on and evidence is analyzed and processed and investigations are finished, but definitely happy to see 90% violent crime, 57% property crime, and 89% property crime. When it comes to the calls for service billing summary report, I've extensively looked over this. I don't report on this in Kenora, but it does give you a snapshot of the same time periods from this year and last year. You may be able to surmise where your policing costs are going based on those billing summary reports, but at the end of the year, those do go up and down. Some are up, some are down. So when it comes to the different billing categories, you'd have to go through it all and see where that fits in the grand scheme of things. So that is Q1 report for Sioux. And I'm not sure if Carl gives more detail than that, but I'm certainly willing to if that's the case. So I have looked over them and had a good look and seen what's in them. The Q2 report for Sioux, again, we're seeing a lot of that commitment to the foot patrol hours, 331.5 hours and 979.25 hours of cruiser patrol. And that really speaks to the proactive patrols that the members are doing. Not a whole lot of increases in Q2, some decreases, other crimes against persons up by 18, and that really encompasses a whole bunch of other different crimes against persons. Robberies, you notice they went from 0 to 2. And when I looked at that, 1 was cleared by charge and 1 was insufficient evidence to proceed. Again, as we go through our property crime, not too many significant increases there. And again, the drug crime from April to June, possession 10, trafficking 10, and the clearance rates for those, again, relatively high. When I can't help myself but compare those drug stats to what we have in Kenora, and I can tell you that these numbers, despite a larger community street crime unit in Kenora and the assistance of an organized crime enforcement bureau that's stationed in Kenora, these numbers are significantly higher than what we would typically see in Kenora. Again, speaks to the good work that the Community Street Crime Unit is doing. And that is quarter 2. We move on to Pickle Lake for the first quarter. Again, this is January to March, typically the slower months for most of us, being in the heart of most of the winter. But the community or the cruiser patrol hours, 1,116.75 and 20.75 foot patrol hours. Not a whole lot of increases in crime here at all. Other crimes against persons up by 2. Assaults pretty generically the same from 10 to 9. Property crime, same sort of stats. When we look at the frauds, again, it's stolen ID, stolen checks, and I think there was one cyber crime associated to that. Drug crime, you'll see zeros there. We are getting a lot of information on drug crimes across Sioux Lookout and Pickle Lake. So as we outreach into those communities and the communities up north, those numbers will increase. As far as the clearance rates go, 100% clearance rate for violent crime, which I've actually never seen before. So that's a good number to have. That just means that we're solving those crimes that are coming in. Although there isn't many, it's nice to see that 100% clearance rate, which means that our investigations are thorough and our offenders are being identified. Again, the billing summary reports are there. It does give you a snapshot into where your policing costs may be going. But again, you have to compare those year over year and again on a 4-year average as well. Quarter 2, April to June, 967.25 cruiser patrol hours, 28 hours of foot patrol. You'll see in here the marine hours show 0. That's a product of this report. It doesn't capture the proper marine hours, which I can get once we roll up for the season. I'll probably likely report on those in quarter 3 because they come off a separate system. So it typically shows 0 there. Slight increase in sexual assaults from 2 to 4. Assaults were down from 17 to 9, and other crimes against persons up from 2 to 4. Break and enters up by 2. Mischiefs down by 2, and then that possession drug crime in there for April to June. Clearance rates 88.2% for violent crime and 45% for property crime. And those are the 2 reports. Maybe a couple other things to note. I know that there was members from Solgen and Sioux Lookout today. I met with them yesterday, had a really good meeting globally on policing costs in general, and maybe some of the ideas we can go forward with and tackle as municipalities, as the billing model gets reintroduced or hopefully revamped. So that was a good meeting yesterday. Also had a really good meeting with the LCBO today, and I know we talked about that last week, but we're going to put our heads together and try and get some things back on the table to work on that. I guess I'll just end off by saying, as I tour around Sioux Lookout and Pickle Lake, I look forward to meeting everybody, seeing everybody. I'm going to try and spend as much time as I can in the community. Having Russ Cedino here as the ops manager makes my job really easy. So I hope to get out and visit everybody and see everybody. And I know I'm here for sure until December 1st and maybe past that, but we'll see. So thank you very much. Subject to any questions anybody has, I can certainly try and answer them.
Okay, thank you, Inspector. Dugan, anybody have any questions about the reports for the Was it the first quarter and the second quarter? First quarter, any comments? Observations about the numbers? Okay, okay, then, and for the second quarter from April to June, are there any comments, questions for both the Sioux Code and the Pickle Lake reports? No.
I could,
Okay.
Chair, yeah,
Sorry. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mayor.
and thanks, Chair. Just, Inspector, I'll let you off easy this time, but then at the next meeting, I'll have some questions on the data and stats. The data, if when I do the calculation for weighted hours, we're up about 9% over last year. So it continues to trend upwards, the calls for service, and in part because of some of the weighted hours ones are getting heavier, the higher intensity calls. I do notice that the operational calls went up. A lot of the year over year, some things are down, but operational calls this year seem to be quite a bit higher than last year at this time. Is that enforcement or policing or proactive policing?
It's mostly the calls that are coming into us, and I think you're going to see that again in the third quarter. Some of those heavily weighted calls, sexual assaults, just from my last 2.5 weeks being here, the sexual assaults that are coming in, there's certainly more than there has been, which is never a good thing, but it also means that people are reporting those sexual assaults, which we want to see as well. So so the billing summary reports, like I said, we don't report on those in Kenora, but I will pay particular attention to those for the next meeting in anticipation of your questions, for sure.
Thanks. And Inspector, in terms of sexual assault, are those calls coming in from private residences, public places?
It's really a variety of both. Yeah, it's both. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think that should do it for the reporting for the numbers, I guess, for this these 2 quarters. Thank you. Thank you for that. Do we need to make? We don't really need to make a motion there, so we'll just continue on to 7B staff report. It says revised attendance at the joint meeting of the Ontario Association of Police Board Zone 1 and Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police in Thunder Bay, December 11th, changed from September 10th to the 11th. So it was supposed to happen in September, and now it's been moved to December. So I guess there will be no report.
Through you, Madam Chair. Yeah, so because the dates have changed, we wanted to reach out to see if any members are interested in attending the December 11th date. We did have previously a couple of members were interested in attending when it was in September, so that's why we brought the report back, just to see if anyone is interested in attending on December 11th.
Okay. Yes, Mayor?
I'm interested in attending, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I'll put it down. I can't be 100% sure that I'll be able to attend, depending on the weather and stuff, but put my name down, so, for sure.
Okay. So Mayor Doug Lawrence and Bob for Pickle Lake will attend
Great.
the meeting.
So, Madam Chair, then the resolution would read that the Sioux OPP Detachment Board authorizes Doug Lawrence and Bob Rasmussen to attend the Ontario Association of Police Service Boards OAPSB Zone 1 meeting, Lakehead University Faculty Lounge, December 11th, 2024 in Thunder Bay, with the necessary expenses allowed. If we could have a mover and seconder.
Okay, I'll move. Yeah, and
I can
seconder?
second.
Yes, okay. John will second. Okay, thank you. And all in agreement, all in favor? Yes. Show of hands. Yeah. Okay, everybody in favor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we shall move on to 7C, the staff report, Sioux OPP Detachment Board Insurance. Not sure who's gonna do that.
I can speak to that, Madam Chair. Thank you very much. So we have been, staff has been sort of monitoring the various options for detachment board insurance. The industry, insurance industry, wasn't exactly sure how to treat detachment boards back in early April when we first started looking at this. But more information has come to light, and the sector has figured out how to provide insurance. So we looked at essentially three primary providers, being Aon, Intact Public Entities, as well as an OAPSB group coverage plan through Medallion Insurance. So we looked at the various coverages that were offered and the costs that were offered. And our recommendation to the board is to move forward with a policy with IPE, Intact Public Public Entities, pardon me, at a cost of $3,443 plus HST. This is the most cost-effective option that provides the best coverage. I understand that some of the categories included in the coverage may seem a bit odd, and it may be, why would a OPP detachment board require coverage for forest fire expenses? But nonetheless, certain things, as you know, do come with certain policies, and there's only so much you can give and take and remove from. So of the various offerings, we looked at them all. IPE had the best coverage and the best price at this time. So our recommendation is that the Sioux OPP Detachment Board approves the quote for detachment board insurance from Intact Public Utilities in the amount of $3,440 plus HST, effective immediately. Happy to answer any questions that members may have.
Would that include our travel for the board?
So this is just for the, yes, so it does cover third-party, non-owned automobile coverage and legal liability for hired automobiles. So it does cover those types of expenses related to automobiles. Sorry. And Mary, did you want to, sorry, I think you wanted to speak to something there?
I didn't see.
Oh, sorry, Mary, your sound doesn't seem to be working.
No.
You can just come over to my office if you want. Oh, yes, I'll have to let you in.
The amount, I have the amount wrong. I've got 3440.
And the amount is
3443.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Mary. Just clarifying that in the motion, I was $3 short in quoting the price. It's $3,443 plus HST. So my apology. I don't want to mislead the board on those $3. Thank you, Mary. And thank you, Mary, for all the investigations and comparisons and charting all of these options for us. Sincerely appreciate your time and effort to help us find the best solution.
Welcome.
All right. Thank you, Mary. No more questions. So, all right. So we need to move the motion. Mover, seconder.
The mayor is moving.
Mayor moving, okay. And seconder,
I
Yes.
can.
Bob. Bob was first. Hands up. All right. Okay, that's great. All right, we'll move on now to 7D, the staff report regarding the 2025 Silicon OPP Detachment Board budget.
Great.
Just
Thank
Brian
you, Madam
again.
Chair. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. So essentially, we have put together the estimates for 2025, which of course, if approved by the board, would then be presented to the councils of Sioux Lookout and Pickle Lake for approval. The highlights are many of the changes are similar, or sorry, many of the budget items are similar for 2025. We have now figured out insurance, so that's a cost that will be covered until next fall. We did provide for a slight, approximately 10% increase in insurance costs year over year, just based on what we've been seeing in the sector generally with respect to insurance costs. The membership fee, we have included membership to OAPSB, the Ontario Association of Police Service Boards. Sioux Lookout sort of took care of that cost. The municipality of Sioux Lookout, sorry, took care of that cost in 2024. We do recommend to the board that it's worth staying in the association in 2025. Lots of really good resources, especially in the early days where we're trying to get our legs under us. The OAPSB has been incredibly useful, helpful, lots of resources, and so on. So we do recommend membership, that the board purchase membership for the OAPSB in 2025. And then, of course, there are we've put a little bit more into travel, training, and professional development. Just given that we will have a full year of business, the board will have a full year of business in 2025, and in addition to the Zone 1 meeting, members may wish to take advantage of the OAPSB conference, or other types of training and professional development opportunities. So that remains there. So yeah, that's essentially where we are standing. So, again, there haven't been a whole lot of expenses incurred this year. So the board may want to look at, again, travel and training. Also, whether or not it wants to budget anything to help with the implementation of community safety and well-being plans for the two communities. Those would be a couple of areas that the board may want to deliberate on. And I will stop talking and ask for some feedback.
Are there any questions? My question, were we sent the budget? Or was that
Yeah, it should have been attached to that report.
it's weird? Okay, yeah, it is.
Oh, good.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Chair, if I may. Yep,
Sorry, Mayor, yeah.
thank you. Your reference to budget for community safety and well-being plan, what part of that would be police services board versus municipality? Can you sort of parse that out?
Certainly. Through you, Madam Chair. Given that the community safety and well-being plans were mandated by the province, every detachment commander is to have regard to those plans in terms of establishing local priorities and so on with respect to operational plans. And so given that, you know, the board exists to represent and provide advice on community policing and community safety, we just wanted to explore whether or not the board was interested in being involved in helping to implement the community safety and well-being plans.
If I may, Chair,
Yeah.
well, you know, I'm interested, CIO, but do I do that through my mayor's chair, through the municipality, or through Triple Services Board, or is it both?
I would suggest that there's probably a role for both the municipality and township, as well as the combined board, to play in supporting the implementation of the community safety and well-being plans.
And then to answer your question, then I'm in favor of having sufficient budget on through the board to do that.
Any other questions about the budget? I don't have any.
So with respect to the couple of areas that we were, just so that I can be absolutely sure that we're clear, with respect to community safety and well-being plan implementation, I would suggest maybe 2,000 as a budget line for that. I know it's not a lot of money, but in partnership with what the municipalities are contributing, I think that would be a reasonable starting point to help with the implementation of those plans if the board is amenable to that.
Yes, Mayor?
Yeah, I would take CAO's recommendation on the amount. You've been looking at this for a while. But how does that split out Pickle Lake, Sioux Lookout, and I'm not sure where Pickle Lake is on their community safety and well-being plan.
So that essentially that would provide $1,000 to each community to assist with any initiatives related to community safety and well-being plan implementation. Sorry, let me finish that sentence. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think for insurance, we will likely budget again for next year what we did this year, which is in the 4,000 range. I think that will be a reasonable estimate. With respect to membership fees, we are recommending 2,000 for the OAPSB membership. That's essentially what it'll be. Maybe it might be a few dollars less than that, but that's the general amount we can expect based on the size of our detachment. With respect to travel, training, and professional development, we're recommending 7,000. That's up from about 4,800, just to enable some additional participation by members in either or both the OAPSB conference, annual conference, or the zone meetings. That's what we're recommending in that area. And that would be it in terms of changes from 24 to 25. Any other comments, questions, concerns?
No.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So if if that's okay, then it would just be a mover and seconder for the motion, which reads that the Sioux Lookout OPP Detachment Board recommends to the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Sioux Lookout and the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Pickle Lake that the 2025 Sioux Lookout OPP Detachment Board budget, as attached to the Detachment Board Administrator's report dated September 24th, 2024, be approved. So those items that we discussed, we can assume that they've been incorporated, and then Linda and I will work to bring the budget forward to our respective councils in either October or November for their consideration. So yeah, just need the mover and seconder.
Okay, so who would like to move?
I can move.
Okay. John will move. Seconder.
Second, or
Oh, great.
All right, thank you. And show of hands, all in favor? Yep. Okay,
Great.
all right. Thank you, Brian, for your
My pleasure. Thank you.
support as staff. And so we're done with the discussion and the reports. Number 7, and we'll move on. We'll zip over to 10. It says 8. Yeah, 8.
We just wanted everyone to feel that we've made so much progress. You know, we jumped right from 7 to
Yeah.
10. Sorry about that, Chair. Thank you.
Oh, that's all right. Okay, so the next meeting date is
We do have that. I know we did set the dates earlier. Just one moment here.
Through you, Chair, it's November 28th.
November. Okay, I'm looking.
November 28th at 2 p.m.
Yes, 2 p.m. at November 28th. Okay. In my calendar. All right. And hopefully that date works for everybody. And now we'll do the motion to adjourn. So I guess we'll need a mover. Oh, would anybody like to adjourn this meeting? Yep. Bob will move. And I guess I'll second. Okay, and show of hands, all in favor? Yeah. Okay, the meeting is adjourned for this meeting of September 24th. So we'll see you at the next meeting, November 28th, 2024. Okay, nice to see everybody. Thank you.